Well, this passage in Joshua chapter 4 with the 12 stones being set up, it reminds us to take time to remember and memorialize acts of God's mercy. I think it's easy for us to pray and then have that prayer answered and then move on to the next thing. I think it's even easier for us not to pray, to try and figure out a solution to things, and then just to keep moving. But if we read the last portion of this, the last part of this chapter is what I want to stick with. It says, the Lord your God dried up the waters of the Jordan until you crossed over. And then he links it with the Red Sea. And then he says, so that all the peoples of the earth may know that the hand of the Lord is mighty, and so that you may fear the Lord your God. There are going to be days, not just for future generations, but for you and I, where we need reminders of God's mercy and his grace. And so it's a good question for us. Are we setting up reminders of God's mercy? Are we taking time to stop before we move forward? Because when we do that, when we set up memorials for God's mercy and his grace, what we do is we create a platform for his name to be remembered among the nations. And as is more important most often in our days, for our own hearts. Are we remembering God's mercy, what he's done for us as we move forward? Let's take a moment to be silent before the Lord, and then we will come together again and pray the Apostles' Creed, which you can find on page 75. So let's take a time to be silent before the Lord.